The idea of using those energy fields to find water, and water witching may very well be legitimate, I don't know. But I'll tell you, there is an area that you pass through when you get into these things that you just do not know when it is the devil and when it might be some natural force. And Ellen White says that Satan will work through the electrical energies at the end of time. They believe that there's an electrical body bound up in your natural body, the astral body, and that through certain meditations you're able to travel in time, to leave your body and float around the room. It's now taught that certain jewelry is gaining the old value that it once had, and three-dimensional images are being used to draw on these cosmic forces. Magnetic fields that control our behavior. Astrology is on the rise again everywhere you go. The pyramid became the supreme symbol of the occult. For a long time, people are buying these little cardboard boxes and things to sharpen their razor blades in, but there was something in that pyramid. Pyramid means fire in the midst, and Bovis, a scientist, built a pyramid and put electronic equipment, and he found that energy was coming in from all four sides and shooting out the top. A powerful electromagnetic force works through that pyramid. Satan is the one that walked in the midst of the stones of fire. When he took dominion of this world with his mind, he influenced the electrical fields with his mind, and he has the power there, the prince and the power of the air that now worketh in the children of disobedience. Ouija boards are outselling almost any other game, and we find that the stores are filled with the occult games today that are bringing the kids into the occult. I was raised on fairy tales, dragons, and now those things aren't such a fearsome evil thing to me, and I know that they must be repulsive to someone who's filled with the heart of Jesus Christ. We have been sabotaged as individuals in this world, even by our own parents who didn't know. Disneyland is probably the greatest promoter of the occult. Here's Mickey Mouse as a wizard, a witch, a warlock. And we see in so many cartoons everywhere you go, demons are becoming the entertainers of our children, you see. And they will not be afraid. One movie that came out called Gremlin, the man that made it said it was to be the perfect child's nightmare. The little cuddly things turned into demons. Other movies are so vast we couldn't even mention them. The most popular game in the United States is Dungeons and Dragons. It teaches you how to be witches and warlocks and men that can control magic potions and stuff. It says in this article on it, when you can choose the character you want and acting out your deepest fantasies of your own heroism and send that character into the most fantastic and unexpected situations in search of valuable treasure, when you can see that character gain in experience and proficiency, you have not only got a profitable brain game, but a preparation for life. And they know this. The Jesuits know that if you gain the control of the imagination, you have control of the entire being and his destiny. Those books give actually witchcraft spells to be cast in those games. There's a reason why the occult is exploding today. There's a reason why the book Don Juan, a Berkeley student studying with an old Indian priest, eating peyote and going into these dreams and writing them out, became one of the most popular books on the campuses because it was all mystical during those times. There's a reason why the Krishna movement, the counterfeit of Christ, has risen again, and it's white Anglo-Saxon world that's traipsing after Krishna more than anything else, and it's a frightening thing when you see little children raised within those institutions with almost no hope in the future. Like Babylon of the old, the Lord is going to have to stop it. He's got to stop it. He has to come soon. Witchcraft is rising everywhere. It's becoming prominent. It's behind the women's liberation movements, and everywhere you go, you see the outgrowth of this thing. Covens are everywhere. 13 people bound up in a coven under these sexual and blood oaths. And this was a picture someone took from National Geographic, and when they developed it, there was a lightning bolt across the front of it on the film. These are high school kids, elementary school kids that are brought in by their teachers. Keep your kids out of the public school system, I beg you. This book was never to be released under penalty of death. The Necronomicon, you can buy it in paperback, tells you how to call up demons and use them. Little children are learning how to be witches at early ages today. Churches are being raided, and black magic is being done right on the pulpits of churches across the land as there's no respect. Mass murderers are most often bound up with occult cults, and it's organized. These men are possessed by demons. The son of Sam leaned over the table when his interrogator asked him, "Who is Sam?" And he said, "Don't you know? Sam is the devil." And then I found in this manuscript I have by Brother Merle Vance that the hieroglyphs of the name Sam, and this was long before the son of Sam, the hieroglyphs of the name Sam come out. and occult symbolism to the number 666. The devil is a 666 God, and the United States is going to set up that number in this country, the image beast. The Sukkah Circle, an organization on sex education that counsels the NEA and the government, actually openly say little children should play around with sex at an early age as the animals do, and parents and children and all that, they encourage that kind of thing. The NEA is taking over the educational arena in the United States, and it's a bear because little children are being taken from their parents and educated for this kind of you know, if you want to keep them at home, they'll take them away for the whole school year and not release them to you until the summer months again. It's a sad thing that's happening. But these women are lesbians there. They're lesbians there behind a lot of this, and I don't think we should have anything to do with it. I'm going to have to go past a lot of these things. Children being taken from the parents, parents being thrown in jail in the United States. Science is unraveling the genetic code. Is biotech about to spawn a malevolent biological age? One sin above another that caused the destruction of the antediluvian race was amalgamation. And today they can operate on the chromosomes. Friends, what is going to happen next? I believe God needs to draw it. Lucifer came down from this heaven. He was a magnificent angel with the power to create magnificent music. And when you look into the world of music, you see the musical instrument as a symbol in the occult of the powers of the gods. In the ancient rites and rituals, music was at the foundation of it. The beat became the foundation of demonic worship. The highest goal was to be possessed by the spirits of the devils, and in every culture since Babylon, at the foundation of initiation has been, in some way, the involvement of music to affect the nervous system. I would have nothing to do with those musics that are hypnotic. A good example is a Taipusam. These people went into a trance through the use of the beat, and 10 years later, when the missionary that I talked to went back, he said they were using American rock and roll music to accomplish the exact same thing. This rhythm, this violent rhythm, is there to bring in the control of demonic spirits over the lives of these people. Pavlov discovered how to control the nervous system. Not only did he work with the bell and did he work with lights flashing, but he worked with the beat. And these men created a dual beat system where they ran two beats together, a fast and a slow, resulting in a collusion in the mind of the dog, and it destroyed the nervous systems of the animals. Lenin said, "You've saved the revolution." They bound that terrible beat in with old music forms that had been brought over from Africa and the pagan cults. It had been the foundation of gospel music, and now it was honed into a tool to destroy the public. Rock and roll, the term means sexual activity, from the gutters of the black communities there. And friends, when kids get involved in this, it works on them like a drug. They have no defense for it. They love it. It feels good. Why not? And there's nothing to stop it. It's everywhere. Radio, television. They can't get away from it. When they get into some of these performances, the sound is so loud. It's the sound of a jet. Like the sound of a jet going off an airport, 125 decibels. And many of these kids will put eggs along the stage, and when are in front of the speakers, and when they go up middle of the meeting, they have their lunch because the eggs are hard-boiled from the energy that's flowing through. It's coagulating the proteins and the fats, and they're listening to that music while they're eating those eggs. They're fools. They're destroying their minds and destroying God's opportunity to reach them. The ears are damaged. The inner ear becomes damaged, and they can't hear as good anymore, and the music has to keep going up and up and up, and there's more nerves from those ears going to parts of your bodies than anything else. Just a few examples of people who have been destroyed by music. Janis Joplin committed suicide. The highest paid guitarist in the world at his time, Jimi Hendrix, became an occultist, a drug addict, and died in his own vomit. And we know of Elvis Presley, still the song's popular today, one of the longest-running recording artists. He had everything to live for, according to this world. He died of an overdose, a sex pervert and a drug addict. Those early recording stars looked normal to me. They had combed hair and tie and the whole works. But as you watch, a change comes over, especially when the Beatles came over in 1963. They brought in the druid beat of the occult, and they mixed with it lyrics of sexual activities, and it created that irritation in the human system. When our culture said no premarital sex, the music says yes premarital sex, and the driving beat excited the kids to do it. It created the collusion that's created so much